Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the activities based on the chapter Light of Science class 10th. So first activity is based on the study of the image formed on the surface of the spoon. The surface of the spoon that is curved inwards acts as a concave mirror while the surface that bulges outwards behaves as a convex mirror. Let's first see the image of the pen from the surface of the spoon that bulges outward. So we can see the image of the pen in the spoon. The image of the pen formed is virtual, erect and smaller in size. So when we move the pen from the spoon, the image is still virtual, erect and smaller in size. When we change the distance of the pen from the spoon, we can see the virtual and erect image. It is still virtual and erect, but its size goes smaller and smaller. Now let's view the image from the surface of the spoon that is curved inwards. So when we place the pen very close to the spoon, then we can see the enlarged image of the pen. The image formed is virtual, erect and enlarged. Now let's increase the distance. When we increase the distance, image becomes inverted and becomes smaller in size. In the activity 2, we will find the approximate focal length of the concave mirror. Before doing that, let's first understand that the concave mirror is a converging mirror. It converges a beam of light falling on it. So when a beam of light parallel to principal axis falls on a concave mirror, it converges at the focus. It passes through the focus of the mirror. For this activity, direct the reflecting surface of the concave mirror towards the sun. Take a paper and adjust to get a bright spot of light. This bright spot is the real and inverted image of the sun. The paper at first begins to burn, producing smoke. Eventually it may catch fire. This is because of the convergence of sunlight at the bright spot. The distance of the bright spot from the mirror gives the approximate value of focal length of the mirror. In the third activity, we are going to study the position, nature and size of image formed by a concave mirror for different positions of the object. In this activity, we will place the burning candle in front of the mirror at different positions and will place the screen at a point where we will get the sharp image of the candle flame. In this activity, we are going to observe the position, nature and size of the image formed for different positions of the object, and for this we need a concave mirror, a meter scale, a burning candle, chalk and a paper screen. As we have already learned a way of finding the focal length of the concave mirror in activity 2. We have seen that the sharp bright spot of light we got on paper is in fact the image of the sun. It was a tiny, real and inverted image, and we measured the approximate focal length of the concave mirror by measuring the distance of the image from the mirror. For this activity, we'll take a concave mirror and we'll find out its approximate focal length by obtaining the image of a distant object, a tree, a building or anything on a sheet of paper. Now place the concave mirror on a stand. Draw a line with a chalk. Mark F and C on the line using a meter scale. Now place a burning candle far beyond C. So there are 6 different positions. 1 at infinity, 2nd beyond C, 3rd at C, 4th between F and C, and 5th at F, 6th between P and F. So we'll place the candle at these different positions and for these different positions we'll try to obtain the sharp bright image on a paper screen by moving it in front of the mirror. Now, in one of the cases, we may not get the image on the screen. When we place the object very close to the concave mirror, between pole and focus of the concave mirror, we will not get the image on the screen. So, in this case, look for its virtual image in the mirror itself. In activity 4, we will learn to draw the ray diagrams for showing the formation of images by a concave mirror for various positions of the object. A ray diagram is a tool that is used to find the location, size and type of image formed by a mirror. So there are 4 such rules which are used to find the position of the image and to construct the ray diagrams. First of all, it is important to understand that the spherical mirrors follow the same laws of reflection as followed by plane mirror. Each point on a spherical mirror, if I take a point on a spherical mirror, each point on a spherical mirror can be considered as a plane mirror of infinitesimal small length. So each point is itself a plane mirror. So spherical mirror follows the same law. Incident ray and reflected ray follow the same laws of reflection as we have studied for plane mirrors. So first rule is a ray parallel to principal axis passes through focus after reflection from the mirror. This arrow indicates the direction of ray. Second rule is that a ray passing through focus will emerge parallel to principal axis after reflection from the mirror. Third rule is a ray passing through center of curvature will reflect back along the same path after reflection from the mirror. It will go back undeviated. So this type of case we had done in case of plane mirrors as well. So when a ray falls normally on a plane mirror, it goes back along the same path. It reflects back along the same path. So when in this case, when a ray passes through center of curvature and is incident on the mirror, it strikes the mirror perpendicularly, and this is the reason it goes back along the same path. Last rule is when a ray is incident obliquely on the mirror, it is reflected obliquely, obeying the laws of reflection. So in this case, angle I is equal to angle R. So these are the 4 rules on the basis of which ray diagrams can be drawn. So any 2 out of 4 rules can be used to draw these ray diagrams. In the activity 5, we are going to observe the position, nature and size of image formed by a convex mirror. So for this, we need a convex mirror and a pencil. Hold a pencil in the upright position and observe the image of the pencil in the convex mirror. The image formed is erect and smaller than the object. Now, as the pencil is moved away from the mirror slowly, the image becomes smaller and also moves farther away from the mirror. Because convex mirror has wider field of view, therefore they are used for security purposes and also used as rear view mirror of the vehicles. But one of the disadvantages of convex mirror is that it does not give the correct distance and speed of the vehicle approaching from behind. In activity 6, we will compare the images formed by different types of mirrors. So as we know that in plane mirror, image is virtual, erect and of same size as the object, and in convex mirrors, image formed is virtual, erect but smaller than the object. While in concave mirrors, if the object is placed between pole and focus, that is very close to the concave mirror, only then the image formed will be enlarged, virtual and erect. In this activity, we will observe the image of a distant object, let's say a distant tree, by using 3 different kinds of mirrors. So with a plane mirror of normal size, we cannot see the distant big objects like a tree. A plane mirror forms the image of same size as the object. So the normal size plane mirror cannot form the whole image of a tree. At least height of the mirror should be at least half of the height of the distant object. Next, with a convex mirror, when we see the object, distant object, with a convex mirror, we can see the full length image of the distant tree, because convex mirrors have wider field of view. Convex mirrors have wider field of view. So it always forms an erect and diminished image, and we can see the virtual, erect and diminished complete image of the tree by convex mirror. Now concave mirror. With a concave mirror, full length of a distant object can be seen, but the image formed will be real and inverted, and the image